So that was the Alternation Study from my primary studies for guitar. It deals with alternation of the I and the M fingers, which is our standard right hand technique for playing anything linear such as a scale, or other melodic components of the music that we play. We can also play this Alternation Study with M and A, or with I and A. It's good to exercise all three possible combinations of two-finger alternations. We use them in the repertoire at different times. But the I-M alternation is the standard one that we use the most, so it really needs to be given a lot of attention. Simply put, the technique that we use for a single stroke shouldn't be any different when we're using the strokes in combination with another finger. What that means is that we want to try to move the finger from the largest knuckle joint closest to the hand. We want to keep the tips of the fingers nice and relaxed, and we want the direction of the fingertips to be moving into the palm. General positioning for the right hand, we want alignment from the knuckles to the wrist to the elbow, and we want the hand to be stable but not rigid. Another important consideration that this study deals with is this idea of string level. So to play on all 6 strings, I've got to cover a good distance here. I can't just leave my hand in place and reach with the fingers, because then I would have a different angle of attack, different technique for each of the 6 strings. So the idea behind string crossing is that, or string level and string crossing, is that I have a different position for each of the 6 strings as determined by this movement from my elbow. So that when I'm changing strings, I want to make sure the whole mechanism moves, not just a finger at a time. So that's dealt with here as well. Something that is helpful for working with that idea is to leave your thumb lightly resting on a neighboring string, the string neighboring to your I finger. So if I'm playing alternations on the 3rd string, my thumb is on the 4th string. When I move to the 2nd string, 3rd string, first string, my thumb moves to the second string. And that's a good way to enforce this idea of string level. In measure 21, we introduce this idea of the burst. What's happening here is we're moving quickly, but not for a long period of time and not many repetitions. To get used to the mechanics and how that feels to move at a faster tempo without having to also deal with issues of endurance and staying relaxed while we're doing that for a long time. It's a good way to kind of get at that. In addition, this study deals a lot with comparing alternations between two strings, which most people find easier to do than doing on one string. So comparing the places where you're playing on two different strings, trying to make your single string alternation feel and respond similarly.